I don't see him. I know he's around here somewhere. Okay, in the meantime, we're gonna get this baby going. Time for valor. Valor grows by daring, fear by holding back. History demonstrates that those who are afraid to fight back against the status quo only perpetuate fear. Those who stood in Tiananmen Square, or pulled the first bricks from the Berlin Wall, or revolted in the Warsaw Ghetto, those, like the founders who fought against an ideological foe, they take that moxie and channel it into valor. Without it, our destinies would be subject to the whims of evil. As stated in the movie Act of Valor, in valor, there is hope. Hope does not ride on the wings of empty promises. It doesn't spring from pointing fingers, and it doesn't free ride off of change. Hope only springs from action, and action requires valor. From speaking out to standing here with a sign, attending town hall and town council meetings, getting out the vote, getting signatures for a petition, whatever form that action takes, requires us to step out of our comfort zones, take risks, and live with the consequences. Now, we've had plenty of time to sit back and watch, test the waters a bit, go to some rallies, make a few phone calls, but now is the time for even more of us to exhibit even more Tea Party valor by ramping up our involvement. What will our legacy be to our grandchildren? When they ask us what we did to stop the train of tyranny, will we tell them we were scared? We didn't want to lose our cushy lives, so we did nothing? Or will we be able to tell them that we made a difference?
But freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
You didn't know Reagan was showing up, did you? Will we tell our children what it was once like in America when men were free, or will we tell them that we fought for freedom so that they and their children could be free? Some of us are pretty scared right now. This is not what we thought our lives would be like in 2012. But this is not the time for fear. Patton said, "The real hero is the one who fights even when he's scared." Ask any vet around today, and they'll tell you at some point they were scared. Most of us are also pretty worried, and justifiably so. But one thing that we all are is mad.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Are you mad? Are you mad as hell? I can't hear you! Are you mad as hell? Are you going to sit back and take it? No! We know that we must channel that anger constructively into action, with less government and more individual freedom as the end game. That's what the Tea Party is all about. It's not about lunacy. It's not about dangling little tea bags. We are not a destructive force in America. We do not seek to break down civil society, pit American versus American, or forcibly take from one and give to another. Our end game is not to fundamentally transform a nation that works into something that history has shown time and time again does not work. That's what the liberals and their minions in the Occupy Wall Street movement do. That guy who infiltrated, that's what they do. We do not incite hatred and dependence. We ignite harmony and opportunity. So, will we cower and do nothing? No! Will we turn our fear and our anger into action? Yes! Will we challenge the behemoth and fight for freedom? Yes! And in our sunset years, will we tell our grandchildren that we raised our fists and took to the streets? Yes! Will we make a difference? Yes! I can't hear you. Yes! Chester Nimitz said of the Marines on Iwo Jima, uncommon valor was a common virtue. I want to be like those Marines. We want to be like those Marines. We don't want to be like the millions of Soviet citizens who took it because they were scared. Every day of their passivity morphed into a century of oppression. Our troops sacrificed their time, their families, their lives, and their dreams to protect the homeland. Now, we don't have bullets and IEDs to contend with, but for the next 6 months, we are asking you to make some sacrifices and speak out, attend meetings, get out the vote. This is nothing in comparison to what we ask of our military families. We all need to encourage other conservatives and convincibles who we know to get involved and vote right. To vote for freedom, not free stuff. 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 This election is not about preserving our fortunes or individual legacies. It's about the very soul, the very lifeblood of America. From the wealthiest of entrepreneurs to the poorest of our citizenry, from the loftiest of intellectuals to the humblest of craftsmen, from employer to employee, from teacher to student, all of our futures are on the line. And what I want to know is, will you take the challenge and fight for our futures? Yes! It's not loud enough. Yes! We can't afford 4 more years of progressive control in the Congress or the White House. We have a mission to fulfill, and that is to hold the House, seize the Senate, oust Obama, and elect a leader. And you've got these wristbands, and if you don't have them, get one. They don't cost anything. These are little reminders to hold the House, seize the Senate, and Obama 2012. If we keep the House but lose the Senate again, it does not matter who is in the White House. Conservatives must control the Congress, even if Obama wins again. I didn't even need my sign for that. That was great. We must hold the House, and then we must seize control of the Senate in order to get anything done and undo all that has been done by the progressives. Here's the deal. The Democrats have 23 Senate seats in play. The Conservatives have 10. The Conservatives must win 4 more to take control, okay? In addition to putting a conservative in the White House, that is where the Tea Party focus must be. And I know Tea Party leaders will be providing you over the next months with information on how you can participate and help regain control of the Senate. So it is up to you to stay connected and to get this information. It'll be there. We can't force it down your throats. You have to be a participant in this process. If we don't make the necessary commitments for conservative success in 2012, the consequences are weighty. I want to have 2 quick personal accounts of the results of political inaction. I think you're going to be very surprised by what you hear. Sandy and Ginny.
Hi, everybody. And I got 30 seconds to give 3 numbers to you. 125, 320, and 4. In Nevada, one of a very great candidate for city council lost by 125 votes. The 320 is a petition against the SMART train that failed by 320 signatures. And 4 is the number of seats that are necessary to take the Senate. Very important to keep these numbers in mind because it's the little things. That 125, there was really no excuse for that. This woman who was running for city council was a very good candidate, and we had a list of 2,000 names. These were registered Republicans. This is what they call low-hanging fruit. This should have been a piece of cake. I was only able to get about 500, 700 calls made. Think about it. 10% of that 2,000 is what? 200 names? Just 200 names. And she didn't get the city council seat by 125 votes. So remember that. And the Smart Train ballot lost by only 320 signatures. And now we're stuck with a stupid train.
Yeah. So just in case, there were 2,000 registered Republicans and Ginny couldn't get enough people to make phone calls. If she had been able to call all 2,000 people and 10% of them went out to vote that day, Republican, that candidate would have been in office. Sandy.
Hi, I worked on AB 131 here this last winter, and if you're not familiar with what that is, it was the second portion of the DREAM Act, which allows illegals to apply for Cal grants. It's going to cost us $65 million the first year. At least this is what they're estimating, and it's going to go up every year after that. I worked on the inside of the campaign. It's not like me to push petitions, but this one I could see we had the support everywhere but here in Northern California. We were 50,000 signatures short of passing this. And we needed more people to stand up and get these signatures. I was working on that campaign every day for 3 months, except for Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. I took the time off and spent with my family, but every day I worked on this campaign. And I just didn't see enough people coming forward to help with the signatures. So we can't, this was our chance to finally push back here in the state of California, and we dropped the ball. In Southern California, they got over 90% of the signatures. Like I said, I'm not one to push petitions, but this one, we should have been able to push back. So hopefully in the future, we can learn from this and push it. Anyways, we need those. We should be a million signatures strong in the future. So please keep that in mind.
Thank you, Sandy. So, as you can see, there are just a handful of people doing yeoman's work, and we need everybody. Bye! Yeah. Take this pot and smoke it. All right. So this is why we're here today. Holding signs, chanting, collecting in large, peaceful crowds. We're sending a powerful message to the left-wing controlled media, to the administration, to Hollywood, to the Move On dynasty, and to the academics. Do they own us? No. Do they control us? No. Can they continue to lie to us? No. And are we going to fight back every chance we can? Yes. All right. I hate to do this to you, but we're going to talk a little bit about Obama. This is so great. Okay, Obama, tea hater, occupation lover. He gives a big thumbs up to the American worker in his new movie, The Road We've Traveled. He says,
so don't bet against the American worker. Don't bet against the American people. We are coming back.
Yeah. Here's the clincher. But Tea Partiers are not included in Obama's progressive definition of American worker. In fact, there was a guy standing here taking a film with his camera, walking his dog when I was waiting when the fife and drum corps was going, and he dictated into it, oh, I'm taking a picture of the racists in San Francisco. Okay? To qualify as a worker in Obama's world, you have to be in a union, unemployed, earning below $250,000 a year, a member of a minority or victim group, or an illegal alien. You cannot be successful, religious, an employer, a business owner, a legal immigrant, anyone who believes in personal responsibility, and you certainly cannot be a Tea Partier, a conservative, or a Republican. Obama mocks, maligns, and marginalizes the majority of American people.
Yeah, those of you who are watching certain news channels that on which I'm not very popular, and you see folks waving tea bags around. I've been a little amused over the last couple of days where people have been having these rallies about taxes. You would think they would be saying thank you.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
The Republican Party, they call the passage of this bill Armageddon. End of freedom as we know it. So after I signed the bill, I looked around to see if there were any asteroids falling.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
All right, we're having a little fun here, but we have to because it's so pathetic. But this is not a president who believes in the American people. He only believes in the people who voted for him. So what are we going to do about it? You have your fingers out, everybody? Hear us shout. Vote Obama out. 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 And to do that, we have to come together as conservatives of all stripes. We have to be tough because weakness only aids the enemy. We have to be fearless because fear puts us on defense. And we have to be vigilant because left to their own devices, politicians will accumulate power and money on the backs of ordinary citizens. They will inevitably lose sight of their principles, and that is why the founders made the people the sentinels of freedom. Now, some say they aren't going to vote for the conservative nominee because he wasn't their guy in the primaries. That's only a gift to the left. Not one of you should do that. Sometimes valor is doing something you really don't want to do, but it's in the best interests of us all. Sometimes it might not be the ideal solution, but it is the best solution at the time. So if Mitt Romney's the nominee and you don't want to vote for him, man up, do your duty, and fulfill your mission. That is our last best hope for 2012. Get those fingers high and on. There is no hope in Barack Obama. No Obama 2012. I will do it again. All right. So I'm going to say there's no hope in Barack Obama. You guys say in Obama 2012. There's no hope in Barack Obama. There's no hope in the failed policies of fundamental transformation. And there is no hope in the remaking of America. But there is hope in valor, and there is valor in doing the right thing, especially when you're afraid, especially when you're mad, especially when you are not in total agreement. Our men and women do it every day on the battlefield. It's our turn to do it here on the political battlefield. So let's put on our boots, take our marching orders, and set this country right again. Are you game? Yeah! Are you ready? Yeah! Then make it so! Yeah! Okay, we are going to turn now to our candidates and community activists and ask them to step up to the stage. While they are assembling, please take a look at your Obama legacy cards. A lot of work was put into this. And thanks to My Liberty of San Mateo for putting them together. Use them when you're talking to convincibles. And in case you forget, our wristbands will always be there to remind you of the mission. Also, don't forget to stop by the tables and talk to the organizations and the candidates who are here today. You can also do that in the last half hour when we conclude. I just want to really encourage everybody to stay to the very end because we have a really fabulous ending. And this was our longest segment, but the ending is going to be really, really special, and I really want you to be here for it.